Hi, this is Kurt Kluempers. Thanks for checking into the August podcast from the Philanthropy Committee. My topic is going to be motorcycle safety as well as auto racing safety. August is the Motorcycle Safety Month, and Indianapolis is well known for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we thought we'd incorporate them into one quick podcast. My focus on motorcycle safety will be on street bikes. The primary tool that you'll see from riders as well as encounter as you see on the road is the helmet. Helmets come in three standard categories. The first is a closed-faced helmet. This consists of a full facial covering, including chin, along with a visor. This is probably the safest, but it's also on hot riding days kind of the most cumbersome. This is often used by sport bike riders as well as some standard bike riders. The second helmet is the open face helmet. This consists primarily of a helmet that wraps around the upper part of the head. This helmet does require eye protection when riding in all 50 states. This also includes states that don't require a helmet at all. You still are required to have eye protection. The third helmet, and it's a relatively new design, is known as a modular. A modular helmet consists of a pivot point near the ears that allows the rider to pivot the front part of the helmet up on top so that you can ride with an open face. Or if you choose to, you can lower that part and it becomes a closed helmet. These often also incorporate sound systems such as a microphone and hearing aids so that you can communicate with the passenger as you're actually riding along. Another key aspect of motorcycle safety gear is gloves. If you think about it, any incident, no matter how minor, is likely to cause you to end up on the ground, and your first reaction is always to put your hands down. A good pair of riding gloves can allow you to protect the pad on the palm of your hand and can save a lot of pain and inconvenience. The other feature of riding gloves is that it will allow some protection on the back if foreign objects are uncovered on the road and keeps them warm in very cold or rainy days. They are also a critical component that sometimes is overlooked. The third part I'm going to touch on is boots or riding shoes. Those are kind of critical from the aspect that any kind of encounter or incident is likely to result with the bike potentially falling over on the rider. If you don't have riding boots or protection on the ankles, that can end up causing some severe damage. This is a difficult process because motorcycle riders require lots of flexibility with their feet due to the fact that shifting is done by your toes as well as rear braking. This also is a matter of personal preference. Some riders like taller boots that cover all of their lower part, while others prefer just above the ankle. Those are some of the key items. One other sidebar I wanted to touch on the motorcycle helmet. They are truly made to be used one time. Any kind of impact or incident, even a severe drop from any kind of height, is probably going to damage them and make them ill-equipped to protect your head in the event of an incident. Motorcycle helmets are also rated by multiple rating agencies. The two standards are DOT, which is the Department of Transportation. That tends to have a lower level of requirement to pass inspection than Schnell. Schnell is the gold standard for motorcycle helmets. A helmet that passes the Schnell standard tends to be usually the highest end helmet and will protect your head the best in the event of an incident. I'm going to move on to auto racing safety. Indianapolis, the track is kind of well known for the Indianapolis 500. Some interesting facts. The track was first completed in 1909. It consisted of 3.2 million bricks that were laid down in 63 days. Pretty incredible when you think about it. In 1939, the track was paved with asphalt entirely except for the front straightaway. And in 1961, they paved that with the exception of the yard of bricks that is still there. That's kind of the trademark for a driver when they win. Oftentimes, you'll see them kissing the yard of bricks. Indianapolis has been a center point of a lot of motorcycle safety, auto racing safety improvements over time. It's an extremely hazardous activity still, with speeds upwards of 230 miles an hour. The average lap time on the fastest Indianapolis race was just under 200 miles an hour. The slowest was 80 miles an hour in 1911. Auto racing safety has incorporated several items that are used in our own daily driver automobiles. Some of the most important include anti-lock brakes, disc brakes, traction control for all weather, all-wheel drive, including four-wheel drive, and one that all of us who've ever had the misfortune of having carbureted vehicles, electronic fuel injection, which greatly aids in gas mileage as well as ease of starting a car and keeping it running efficiently. These are all features that started out in extreme racing situations way back and now are incorporated in day-to-day. Other features that we kind of take for granted now include seat belts and racing harnesses. Some of the racing series incorporate airbags. Those were initially developed for auto racing, as well as other standard control features and information. Much of the displays that you'll see in our computer-aided driving displays were developed for auto racing and have been incorporated into the standard passenger car. That kind of wraps up on some of the key features on the brief podcast. Thank you for your interest. If you have any questions, I will tell you that motorcycles and auto racing are passions of mine. I'm always happy to chat about that. Take care. Bye-bye.